What's the crack? What's the bleeding story? Hope yous are all doing well. I'll tell you, I'm still fuming. I'm fucking fuming. I'm fuming. And I'm sure the boys as well are the exact same. You know what I mean? It's just still looking at Twitter and fucking every sort of thing, and these clowns still talking about Arteta and singing the song and all this crap. You know what I mean? It's just a joke. It's an absolute joke. And people need to wake the fuck up. Seriously. You know, we're going to talk about this for the first 10 minutes of this stream, and then we're just going to forget about it and get back into the 96, 97. You know, and let's talk about, let's say, the good times and, you know, how things were and how big of a club this is. And, like, you know, Wenger's first half of his managerial career was unbelievable, you know. So, I have just something on at the minute, sort of a family sort of issue at the minute. I'm going to leave it in the capable hands of Warren, and Warren's going to steer the ship, and then I'll be back on. So please do keep watching, and Warren is going to steer the ship from here, mate. I'll be back as quickly as I can. Big up to Warren, Jez, and Kyle. And Warren, I'll let you take it from here, mate.
All right. Well, hi everyone. I hope that you're all well. Del Boy will be back as soon as he can. And tonight, as Del Boy says, we're going to be talking about the 1996-97 season. And to do that, we're really, really grateful to have Jez in the house, and also Kyle Walsh. So please make sure you go and subscribe to their channels. Both of them have got really excellent channels. Both of them uploaded videos today. Jezzy's was a reaction to the debacle last night at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, and Kyle just went in on a mad one. So I'm just going to let the other two have a say. So let's go to Jez first. And Jez, is anything you want to say?
Embarrassing, shocking, absolutely disgraceful. How a manager that we have cannot get this team psyched up for a North London derby. You know, I don't care what anybody says. These North London derbies, whether we're challenging for title, it doesn't matter. Yeah, I've been to North London derbies when we're not even in the race. Yeah, but you still go for the honour of winning that North London derby. It was disgustingly embarrassing. Mm-hmm. He is not worthy of Arsenal to be a manager. He got absolutely schooled by Conte yesterday. And that just shows the levels that we have of this manager. He is a fucking embarrassment to this football club. Mm. And I say it that strongly because all you little Arteta sexuals out there, which all of a sudden, on channels, Lee Gunners and mine have gone quiet because you've all regressed back into your little bedrooms, pulled your curtains, got back into bed, and are now crying. Yeah? When Arsenal win, you're all out there giving it all the fucking big one and you want to front it out. Yeah? But when Arsenal get absolutely piped by Tottenham, you all fuck off and cry. So that says it all. You know? Now, I put out a channel earlier, which, you know, if you get a chance, go and watch it. I put it straight to facts. But it just shows the level of crap this manager is. His press conference post-match was embarrassing. He didn't know what to say. And I'm going to put it out there, people, right? We have got to go and play Newcastle United away. Yeah? Spurs have got to go and play Burnley. Yeah? We've then got to play Everton at home, and Tottenham have got Norwich. Arsenal are playing two teams, one who at home recently have got a good record, and everybody says, oh, we got a great record against Newcastle. Well, yeah, we have. But this is a team in resurgence. Everton are fighting a battle for their life to stay in the Premier League. Yeah? And we've got injuries now. Tottenham, yeah, are playing two teams. One has already been bloody relegated. Yeah? So who's got the easiest running? Well, that just shows all these little fucking idiots that make out, oh, top four, Champions League. We ain't there yet. And I honestly have major concerns that we ain't going to get there. And if we do get there, what the hell are we going to do? Because without a serious makeover of this squad, we will get passed around Europe. Yeah? Like a fucking pair of horse drawers. Simple as that.
Thank you, Jess. Kyle, what's your thoughts, mate?
Yeah, can you hear me, lads? Yeah?
Yeah.
My thoughts are I'm absolutely fuming. As you saw my reaction video from this morning, my feelings are still the same. This is a North London derby match, and the boys couldn't even get up for that. Arteta said that he got some fella in to give a speech to him, to tell him how important this game is. This is a fucking North London derby match. There should be no fucking speeches. The other thing is, when I look at these fucking assholes and they're rubbing each other's hair and helping each other up off the ground, when the fuck did that happen in the past? Because I don't remember seeing it. The club should have come out this morning with a club statement to apologise to every single Arsenal fan across the globe for that fucking shit that we watched last night. No intensity, no winning mentality, nothing. Spineless, cowardly shower of bastards. That's all they are. It was like an FA Cup final yesterday for me. I had very little sleep the night before. I couldn't wait for the game. And that is the shit that they put up in front of us. I like you, Jace. To be straight to your face, mate, I don't think we're getting fourth place. I said this about 2-3 weeks ago, and from last night, my mind hasn't changed. I think Newcastle will do a job on us. And to be quite honest with you, I hope they fucking do. Because we would be made a show of in European football. Lads, they can't compete. They wouldn't compete here in the Wexford League. Never mind Champions League. The squad is not good enough. I put up a video this morning, if you got to see it. I talked about the players that played last night. 80%, 90% of them, lads, they're not good enough for the fucking jersey. These are facts. Arteta, Jesus Christ almighty tonight. Fans still on about him. The best young manager in the world. Fuck off. I could see, I'll give a quick example. I saw Son last night. He schooled Holding 3 or 4 times before he got sent off. I could see that sitting in the pub here in Wexford, in Ireland. Why the fuck can Arteta not see that standing on the touchline? And he's the so-called the world's greatest young manager. That's just an example. Conte schooled them last night. I don't know, lads, did you see there today? Did you see Conte after the game last night what he said about Arteta? Did you see that?
Quite right.
About yeah. So, like, you know what I mean? Our club is an embarrassment, lads. It's as simple as that. There's not much you can talk about. They're just a fucking joke. Simple.
It's true.
Real fans can see it, but there's fucking idiots still on AFTV Still talking shit.
Yep. And I'll tell, mate, Kyle, AFTV have so much to answer for this fan base. Shocking. But if you look at the views they've got on their race, on their fan cams yesterday, yeah, look at their fan cams. It's less than Lee Gunner got with me, Lee, and Kenny, because people are turning. They're turning because people are getting fed up with the absolute fake shit that AFTV talk.
Yeah.
It's mate, honestly, you know, I'm not lying. Go and watch it. Go and have a look. The facts are out there, you know, and people are turning because they promote absolute PR crap. And I am convinced, and when I did my show earlier, I am convinced that J person and names ends with an N is an actor. I am convinced he's paid. And a guy came in my chat and said, I can prove it that he is. Fact.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Because that's the thought, so much shit. Like, there's nobody out there can be that stupid. You know what I mean? Like, what did they see that we're missing? Nothing. Because we speak facts. We speak the truth.
And we get hated for it because we
Get
actually
hated for it.
hold to the facts. Now, you know, it's quite interesting last night when after the game, Kenny, Lee and I were doing our stuff, and there was people in the chat coming in and saying, oh, you know, I have to agree, you guys got it right nearly 3 years ago. I'm sorry, but I've been hating you guys, but now you're right. Yeah. Because we are right. Because we know
Absolutely.
we know this club. We know how this fraud of a manager is. And he proved it last night. He is not good enough to be at Arsenal Football Club. Conte absolutely had him in his back pocket.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And if you watch that post-match press conference, he looked absolutely lost.
Yeah.
He didn't have a bloody clue what to say. And that sums it up.
Chase, all he could say was, I can't say anything about the referee because I'd be suspended for 6 months. That's all he could say. He hadn't a fucking clue what to say.
No.
I was over the pub watching the Jays there with 6 or 7 other Arsenal fans and 2 or 3 Spurs fans. And the hatred that I got from the Arsenal fans at the end of the game was absolutely disgusting. Telling me that I'm the fucking problem, that I am negative, and would I ever shut the fuck up? I said, lads, I speak facts, I speak the truth. This is my club, and this is the way I see it. These lads, they're shouting for a head at the end of the game. It's insulting. It's insulting to me as a proper Arsenal fan. These fellas have no fucking idea. All in their fucking mid-20s. They haven't a clue. And I know there's mid-20s out there that do have a clue. I'm not saying that all people are like that. But the fucking crowd I was with last night singing our head at the end of the fucking game. Are you fucking calling me? Jesus Christ.
Now, look, I tell you, right, when I got on the train, right, yesterday afternoon, there was 4 Tottenham lads who were travelling up from the south coast. Nice fellas. They were nice fellas. And there was 3 other Arsenal boys. They were about 17, 18. And when it all went wrong, and we had to retreat back, and we got out, and we went back to this pub near the station, and we're all pissed off because we all know we're not going to get to the game, yeah? And these 3 lads from Arsenal were giving having a great banter and all that with these Spurs guys. And 3 of the Spurs guys, yeah, said, I see you on YouTube. And I said, all right. And he said, yeah, you go on, you're on a league gunner, aren't you? And I went, yeah. I thought, oh, fuck me, here we go. You know what I mean? I was like, oh, fuck's sake.
Yeah.
And they're like, great content, mate. You say it as it is. You actually stand up for your club. You're not like a lot of the Muppets, this, that, and the other. And I said, well, thanks a lot. And this young lad, who I think he must have been, I don't know, about 17. And he said, oh, fuck me, yeah, I've seen you on League Gunner's show. Yeah, he said, fair play, mate. You talk it like it really is. And he said, are you the old guy? Are you the old guy who does the history thing? And I went, yeah, that's me, mate. And he went, oh, yeah, I'm interested in that. I'm interested. I haven't watched all your stuff, but it is interesting. But why do you think Arteta's no good? And I said to him, I just looked at him, I said, you tell me one good thing that Arteta's done for this club. And he went, well, we're getting top 4. And I went, we ain't got it yet, son. And he went, no, yeah, but we're going to get it. And I said, right. Anyway, game went on. We lost the game. And I said, I'll ask you that question again, my friend. Are we going to get top 4? And he went, nah, fair play, mate. Probably not now.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly. And the question I'd like to ask is, we lost 12 games this season so far. We lost away at Brentford, lost at home to Chelsea, away at Manchester City, away at Liverpool, away at Manchester United, away at Everton, home to Man City, home to Liverpool, away at Crystal Palace, home to Brighton, away at Southampton, and away at Tottenham. How, in any way, shape, or form, is that acceptable? Right?
Yeah.
We then
Can I just step in? Sorry, Warren. Go ahead, Warren.
We've drawn 3 games, right? Away at Brighton, at home to Crystal Palace, and at home to Burnley. I'm sorry, but that's completely unacceptable. And I'm convinced if we had a manager on the level of Antonio Conte, I reckon about 80% of those defeats would have been victories. Definitely.
All day. Proved it, mate. That guy, that fella, proved it yesterday. And the fact of what he said, that classic statement, he said to Arteta, you moan too much.
Yeah. And then apparently as well yesterday, Conte was saying all this business about all the, hand movements and whatnot. All he's doing is confusing his players. I don't understand why he's doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What does it mean? What the fuck does it mean? I've seen it firsthand. And, when I was at the Brighton game, and it was a horrible, cold, wet, miserable fucking day. Yeah. And he stood out there on his technical area, giving it all this, all that, all this bollocks. And you've got Graham Potter sitting there like that, him like, what the fuck are you doing? Yeah. And Thomas Partey is coming up the right wing, yeah? And he's looking at Arteta like, what? What do you want me to do? Yeah. What the fuck? And I just don't get it. I don't.
I
For 3 years.
I just said this to you. I was working there today, and I had a bit of a break, and I was looking through the videos, and I saw a very interesting video of exactly what you're talking about, Warren. And something that really fucking annoys me. Dan Potts about his opinion about Arteta. I don't know Dan Potts. He could be a gentleman, and he's entitled to his own opinion, and that's fair enough. But Dan Potts was on AFTV, one of them fucking channels, or his own channel, whatever the fuck. And he was trying to say that there's a huge improvement with this Arsenal team under Arteta. A fucking improvement. And that he would question any fan that says that there's no improvement. He will question any fan that says that. Well, I am fucking saying it. There is no fucking improvement.
Yeah.
And you're more than welcome to talk to me, Dan Potts, anytime you fucking want about it, my dear man. Because I don't see any fucking improvement. 12 losses. How many losses have we last season? 13. We've conceded more goals this year than we did last year. Where's the fucking improvement?
Right, Andy. We got backwards. That fella you're talking about, probably, if we beat Newcastle, a few months ago, he was Arteta out massively. And now he's Arteta in. This is the problem. These people, 1 minute is this, next minute is that, next minute is this, the next minute is that. They can't make up their fucking mind. It's a joke.
I'll jump in here. I know Dan, and I've been on channels with Dan. The problem is with Dan, it's the same as Turkish, yeah? They get under the influence of AFTV, the absolute arse lead judges, yeah? And they fall for the fact, under pressure, they have to toe the party line because they're getting paid. Right? They're getting paid. Yeah? Dan Potts is actually a pretty decent fella. Right? The other night, called out lead judges on his own fucking show. He would not answer any of my questions because he knew that I'd have him out on the fucking washing line. All my comments were getting blocked or deleted or whatever you want to call it. And I called him out. The guy is a fucking fake. He gives it all the big one about his days in the North Bank. Da at Highbury. And I fucking said to him, never saw you, man. Whereabouts in the North Bank were you? Back in time. Wouldn't answer me. Who did you go to games with? Now, you've got to remember, right? I went to probably over 1,500 fucking games at Highbury. That's an exaggeration. I'd say 1,300 games. Yeah? Man to boy. Right? I don't ever fucking remember seeing him as one of the top boys. I don't mean top boys, but one of the boys at Highbury. Because one thing that fucks me off is all this bullshit talk about top gooners. Not one of these people was ever a gooner. If people actually were to research what a gooner was, yeah, you'd know what a gooner was. And none of them are fucking gooners. Not one of them. Because go and research it, people, and you'll know what a gooner was. They were the away crew, home crew, however you want to put it. But not one person today in this fan base is a fucking gooner. And it winds me up massively. And to call people like him a top gooner and all those absolute fakes on those channels, gooners, is a disgusting embarrassment.
Jez, I just ask you a question about the crew, right? Yeah. I used to work with a fella who reckoned that he sat with a load of top boys who used to sit in Block A in the East Stand.
Yeah.
Is that true?
Yeah.
Right, okay.
Right. Let me put it this way. In the North Bank, you had the Gooner Elite.
Mm-hmm.
And they were known as the Gooner Elite 78, right? Down in the clock end, you had the Gooner Squad. Yeah? Proper fucking wrong'uns they were. But you had the Gooner Elite in the East and the West, lower tiers. Yeah? And you had people like in the North Bank, Hendon Josh, yeah, one of the top boys. And the guy, I can't think his name now, down in the clock end, it was Pete, something or other. Oh yeah, Pete the sheepskin. He always wore a sheepskin coat. Always wore a sheepskin. He's fucking like, and I remember the first time I got involved with him was Brighton away, 78. When Brighton first got promoted to Div 1, he was there. That's the first time I actually got involved with the fellas. But they weren't all bad boys. They were hard as nails. Get me wrong. I mean, you know, I didn't get too close to at games, away games, that's for sure, because you knew back in those stupid times, things would kick off. But they were the gooners. They were the boys. They were, you know, I'd never classed myself as a gooner. I'd be embarrassed to state that. Yeah, no way was I a gooner. I was a gunner. I wasn't a fucking gooner. Yeah, because if you called yourself a gooner and you met in a pub in Islington and you made yourself out to be one of them, you wouldn't get beaten up, but you'd get fucking told to shut your mouth. That's for sure. And I see this now. Oh, I'm a top gooner. No, you fucking aren't. You don't know what a gooner is. And that's how it was back in the day.
Right. So I suppose we really should crack on with what we're supposed to be to talk about, really. And which is the 96-97 season. So without too much further ado, let's get on with it, I suppose. So this was the team group picture that always comes out at the beginning of the season. There's all the team there. Is there anything that stands out for you, Kyle, about that team group?
Dennis Bergkamp, the king himself. It was great to have. It was great to have such a talented player with our team. That was probably the most exciting signing for me when Bruce Rioch signed Dennis Bergkamp. I couldn't believe it. And for 7.5 million, so you wouldn't buy the man today. You know, like how much would he worth in today's market?
You know, dread to think.
Like 7.5 million. Unbelievable. And it was very interesting. I was at a wedding here in Wexford down in Ferrycarrig, and Ian Rice was at it. And I ended up having a few drinks with Ian Rice and having a chat about Arsenal with him. And he told me that the first time he met Bergkamp, he said that he was listening to the news and I said that Arsenal was at the sign of Bergkamp. And he put into a petrol station to get gas And when he got out of the car, Burkham came out of the fucking petrol shop. I thought it was very, very interesting the way Wright told me. But he said that he was such a talented player, like, you know.
Yeah.
I'm just looking.
Good, Carl. Go on.
I'm just trying to see. My eyesight is. I'm getting old. I need glasses like Jay's there. Who else do I see?
There you got Patrick Vieira there, man.
Vieira, yeah, for sure. Another one, 3.5 million. Sure, you wouldn't buy him today. Was Ginsgramandi there? Was he or Remy Gard? I think Remy Gard came with Vieira, did he?
You got Ray Parler.
Yeah.
I mean, you got some iconic legends there, my friend. You got Ian Wright.
Ian Wright, yeah.
David
and we've got our Arsenal idiot legend of Martin Keown.
Yeah, exactly.
Did you see him getting roasted on the radio today? Did you see that, Simon? On Talk Sport, did you see that?
Yeah. Embarrassing,
that's right.
Another one that sold his soul for to Talk Sport for that.
Yeah,
he
terrible.
got absolutely schooled today.
Mate,
it was embarrassing to watch.
What you said, Jez, I don't think he'll appear on that radio show again.
No. Not.
No.
I think, mate, he'll fuck off from that because he got absolutely owned today. That was embarrassing.
Was.
And the lines he was coming up with was terrible, like, you know.
We got John Hartson there.
Yeah.
Yes.
Nigel Winterburn.
Yeah.
David Platt.
Yeah.
And Tony Adams and Steve Morrow. I think I could see Fred Street. Was he still at the club, Jez, then?
Who?
Fred Street.
Is he still there now? I don't know if he's still there now, man.
I don't know, but I'm just saying, was he still there then?
Oh, yeah, he's there. Yeah, he's there. Yeah, he's there. Yeah. Yeah, he's there.
And then there's the Lewin brothers as well, wasn't there? Because there was two of them, wasn't there?
Yeah. Gary Lewin.
Yeah.
I met him. I refereed Arsenal ladies in a friendly in 1991, pre-season friendly, and Gary Lewin was their sort of manager at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And I after the game, they beat this team I was refereeing 10-0. And I said to him, can I have your coat? I'm a massive Arsenal fan. And he went, no.
Oh, okay.
Jesus. Good man, Gary.
I went,
what I remember about this season was that we were going into this season as Bruce Rioch was going to be our manager.
Mm.
And I think a couple of weeks before the kickoff of the new season, I think Bruce Rioch got the sack.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't remember, like, am I right in saying that Wenger didn't come till
September?
Mm-hmm.
September, I was going to say October. I think Stuart Houston took over after Bruce Rioch.
See,
and I remember there was a story to say that he actually went to the boardroom, Stuart Houston, and he said that he wanted to be the manager, but they said no to him, and he fucked off down the road and he managed QPR. Would I be correct in saying that?
Bruce Rioch?
No, Stuart Houston.
Oh, I don't know, mate. I don't know.
Yeah, I think he fucked off down to QPR then because he wanted to be the new Arsenal manager and they said no to him.
Don't know.
Yeah.
So then I think Pat Rice took over for a couple of weeks then, and then Wenger took over then.
Pat Rice did.
I remember all that. Yeah.
So look, this is what you were saying, Carl. They sacked Bruce Rioch in pre-season. Now, I can't exactly remember what was behind all that business with the sacking, Jez. Do you remember what happened?
Yeah.
I don't think he got on well with David Dean.
Huh?
Jason know better. I don't think he had a good relationship with David Dean. Jace might know better than me now, but that's what I remember.
Yeah.
What do you remember about it, Jez?
It was basically David Dean had behind the scenes basically been trying to tap up Arsene Wenger, and Arsene Wenger was managing Grampus 8 in the league in Japan, but his contract couldn't end until September. So David Dean and the board, after they'd sacked George Graham, put in charge, I think it was Stuart Houston, was it? Or Pat Rice, one of the things.
Yeah, Stuart Houston, yeah.
They brought in Bruce Rioch. Bruce Rioch signed Dennis Bergkamp. And the season ended out, but David Dean and Sir Peter Hill-Wood had already basically behind the scenes secured the signing of Arsene Wenger. Now, when the season came to fruition, they played along, sacked Bruce Rioch, and brought in Arsene Wenger. And I remember speaking to some friends of mine, saying, "Who the fuck is this Arsene Wenger? Who is he? Never heard of him." I actually thought initially we'd signed a player. I actually thought it was a player, and I thought, who the fuck is he? Now I think it was at Monaco, had links with Thierry Henry, and when he came to Arsenal, totally unknown to me, to be fair, and all of a sudden we've got Dennis Bergkamp, blah blah blah, and all that, and it was quite clear as he came in as a manager, he thought, fucking hell, because once he got the team starting to play the sexy football that he did, you suddenly saw some serious stuff, from this guy. And I was like, wow, who is this fella? Yeah. And the fact he had major inroads to the French national squad says it all. I mean, that French national squad back then was legendary. Let's get it right. Yeah. And I was like, wow, David Dean. I mean, David Dean, let's be fair, was a pretty awesome guy for picking out talent back in his
big time.
And the fact they, shocked me because I thought, who the fuck is this fella? Never heard of him. I know him. But back in them days, we didn't have the social media that there is today.
Well, I actually remember that, maybe I'm wrong again, but what I can remember is that Johan Cruyff was actually linked to become the new Arsenal manager. And I know that Dave O'Leary was also in the mix. But like James, Wenger came, I'm sure nobody knew anything about him. I remember when he came, I looked at the picture with the glasses and he looked very old looking and like a professor. And I said to myself, where the fuck are we going with this fella? Not knowing that we were going to see something amazing. And his knowledge of the French football was and the French market was just unbelievable. Look at the amount of talent we got from France. Sure, Thierry Henry, Robert Perez, Vieira, and Nelke. So the list goes on. Petit. The list goes on and on. Fucking great players. Yeah. But it was a great time to be an Arsenal fan, It was a great time.
Well, when back in those days, Arsene Wenger had a clear direction of what he wanted to achieve with Arsenal. And Arsenal, let's get it right, back in 98, 99, we're playing probably the sexiest football in the Premier League. He wanted to emulate what Barcelona and Real Madrid were doing, and it was unbelievable football. But he built a team base with Vieira and all these unbelievable players. You know, I mean, Vieira is probably one of the greatest midfielders I've ever seen at Arsenal Football Club. Without a shadow of a doubt. That guy, you know, I remember the battles against Man United, against Roy Keane. And the fact that what Wenger wanted to achieve and believe was exceptional. And he did it. He got there. He achieved it. Nobody can deny that. And with Henry, I mean, let's get it right. When he bought Henry was a winger. And he converted him into a striker. So that you have to say, you know, I hate hearing all this hate towards Wenger, because Wenger turned this club around from a mediocre team into one of the greatest in Europe. All right, we didn't win the Champions League, but we were competing at that time with the best in Europe. And you look now at what we have become with this absolute useless manager, and people are piping it up that, you know, we're going to get in the Champions League and all this and all that. It will be absolutely embarrassing.
It will be. And, you know, I remember when he was appointed, I had the same feelings as you, Jez. I just thought, well, who the hell is this fella? And there was newspapers were running headlines of Arsene who. You remember that, Jez?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, in the Sun. And
yeah. And, you know, I was thinking, what the hell are they doing? What the hell are they doing appointing this fella? We'd never heard of him. We didn't know anything about him. And I knew that he'd been at Monaco and he'd managed Glenn Hoddle and Gary Lineker. I think was Gary Lineker out in Japan under him.
Yeah, that's the end of his career, wasn't it?
Mark Haitley.
Yeah.
Mark Haitley was out there with him. And it turns out as well that he had Henry at Monaco as a youth player.
Yeah, he did,
Yeah.
So, but yeah, there was lots of speculation about who was going to get the job. And I remember Cruyff's name being mentioned and, you know, all these other like top managers. And then we ended up appointing this fella. And I was thinking, oh my God, what's going to happen? But like Jez said, the football was just incredible. It was.
That's the thing.
And then but the thing is, and you have to remember the transformation in the club as well, because before Bruce Rioch came in, we were like seriously like stalling. The football was dour. It was uninspiring. It wasn't great to watch at all. And it's Bruce Rioch, bless him, tried to like revolutionise the club a bit, but then it really like kicked in when Wenger came. I mean, and so
see, for me, he not only transformed Arsenal Football Club, he transformed the whole Premier League. Because even Alex Ferguson started learning stuff from Wenger for his Manchester United things. That's how influential this Wenger was. Great, like just a genius, football genius, really.
So this here is showing the squad, right, and their stats, their appearances, and the goals they scored. So, and there's two slides because there's so many players. But you've got on there. You've got Ian Wright. He scored 23 league goals in 30 games and 5 substitutes, and in total, he scored 30 goals from 36 appearances. And then the next one, we got Dennis Bergkamp scoring 12 from 28 in the league and 14 from 33. Then this is the other side. It's, does any there particularly stand out to either of you?
What, as players?
These players, yeah, and their stats.
Well, to me, can you just flip it back up a bit?
Oh.
To that?
Yeah.
I mean, the iconic player there is coming into the fray, not in this particular year, with a certain Nicholas Anelka.
Yeah.
I mean, next season, that guy was unbelievable. But in this period, you have to look at the fact of Dennis Bergkamp. Yeah. Awesome that season. Unbelievable.
Exactly. It was incredible. And I remember there was all those stories about, sorry, Carl, there was all those stories about how Wenger wanted to pair Anelka with Henry, didn't he? That would have just been frightening. I mean, if I'd been an opposition centre-back coming up against them two, I'd have been terrified.
But you also have to look at the fact that is it on this one here? Can't see it. I mean, yeah, Ian Wright that season was just unbelievable. Fox in the box.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know? And if you drop it down, next one. Where is he? I'm trying to find him now. Where's he gone? Where is he? Can't see him.
What are you looking for, Jez?
I'm trying to find. No, sorry, mate. It might be the next one up. I do apologise.
Oh, yeah. So this is the goal scorers, like the leading goal scorers for the club that year.
I just wanted to say there, that's a sad story for me personally. I absolutely loved Paul Merson. I have a scar here on my hand. Back in the day, my father, we were a big football family, but we didn't have Sky Sports. But my best friend had Sky Sports, and I used to go to his house at the beginning of the Premier League to watch the games. But I think this was an FA Cup game against Leeds United. And I remember Merson scoring a wonder goal from about 30 yards out. He bent it into the top corner to draw it, to bring the game into a replay. This was back in 92, maybe 93. And I remember sitting on my friend's bunk bed, and I jumped to celebrate, and I hit my hand off the edge of the bunk bed, and I still have a scar to this very day celebrating that goal. But you asked about about the players. Paul Merson stands out to me because I loved him. I thought he was a fabulous player. But I think, now, you two will correct me on this, I think at the end of this season, Was that the season that Paul Merson came out and he gave that press conference and said that he had all these problems and that was the end of his career at Arsenal Football Club?
Yeah, it was.
It was, yeah. But that I remember actually physically crying looking at that press conference because he was a hero to me. I loved Paul Merson. A fabulous footballer.
They were so sad when he broke down in that press conference. It was awful. It was awful.
Horrible. But that stands out though. That stands out to me.
He
when he admitted to his gambling and alcohol addiction, you know, and there was that program where I can't remember what it's called. It's where you get ex-England players now retired and they go and play against
German
and all that, and Italy and all that palaver. And that one where Paul Merson's sitting down with I can't think his fucking name now.
Harry Redknapp.
No, massive.
Oh, I know. Yeah. Razor Ruddock.
Yeah, that's him. And he's calling him out. They're in France, and he's saying to him, "Look, mate, you know, I've been there, I've done it." And Ruddock has a right go at him and said, "Look, if you fucking don't shut up, I'm going to fucking knock you out," and all this. And you can see Merson's in tears because it's obviously a mate. Yeah. It's a mate. Yeah, it's a mate. And he's trying to tell him, look, you got to stop this. You got to stop this. And then 6 months later, Razor Ruddock's in for a major heart operation.
Yeah.
He's having a triple bypass because basically, you know, he's abused himself so badly and all that. And I felt so sorry for Paul Merson. The fact that he's honestly trying to say to a mate, look, for fuck's sake, man, you got to rein it in. You know, I don't want you to go down the road that I did and all this and all that. You know, and there you go.
Because the two of them, they were really close mates, wasn't they, Jez?
Hey, but we got Prince Fowd TV, my mate Arteta in the chat. Got him in. And fair play, fella. You know, I'll tell you what, I was on with him in Northside last night, and you know, I don't agree with you, man, but fair play to you. You know, you're a lovely guy. And hey, sorry, mate, go on, crack on.
No, I was just saying that Paul Merson and Razor Ruddock were really close, weren't they? They were really good mates.
Top mates, and you know, and the fact that in that show when they did that thing against England, you know, the England West Germany thingy bob, and they're in that bar and all this and all that, and he's trying to give him some advice, and Razor Ruddock basically just turns around and says, "Oh, you know, I'll fucking knock you out, this, that, and the other, blah, blah, blah." And you can see Paul Merson was seriously upset.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah.
They were so close. I mean, if I had a mate, if my best mate was in that situation, I'd be fucking getting upset as well. Do you know what I mean? Because you don't want to see your mate. I mean, I lost a mate about a year ago. He died, but we don't know why. And honestly, it knocked me for 6. And I still miss him. Do you know what I mean? But the worst bit about it is that we don't know what killed him. He was found dead on his bathroom floor. His family had to break into the flat to go and see what was going on. But yeah, no, it is horrible, and I understand why.
My best friend died in my arms.
Huh?
My best friend died in my arms, unfortunately, about 6 years ago. It's something I'll never forget. Something I'll bring with me forever.
Mm.
I miss it. I miss him. I miss him every day.
I'm sure, mate, because it's horrible. It is. It's fucking horrible. Do you know what I mean?
But yeah,
And
but on saying that, that's what my memory was of Paul Merson.
mm,
He was a wonderful player, lads. I'd like to hear about your opinions, Ward. Um, what did you think of Paul Merson as an Arsenal player? Would you rate him as high as I did? I rated him very high. I thought he was a wonderful player.
I thought he was great. I remember him making his debut, and that day I was stood on the North Bank, and I remember some people who stood around me going, "What is he doing bringing this fella on? He ain't any good." And you know, he'd been on the pitch for a while, and I remember watching him thinking, "There's something about this kid. He's going to be class." And I was saying to these people, "No, get off his back. He's going to be class. He's going to be class." And no one around me like thought he was any good, but I thought he was. But yeah, I thought he was excellent. Do you know what I mean? I just thought he was. I thought he was technically. I thought he was very good, and he had a good
Yeah.
engine on him, and you know I thought he was strong as well. I mean, not like some of these clowns we got in the team now, and they're easy to knock off the ball.
Yeah.
Do you
He
know
was
what
an
I mean?
exciting player for me.
What did
When
you
he got
think?
the ball, he kind of bring it to your feet. You'd be wondering why is he going doing next. He was exciting, you know. What did you think, Jace? Did you like him? Did you rate him, Jace?
Sorry, say again, man.
Did you rate Paul Merson yourself, Jace? What did you think of him?
Oh, after about his fourth game, you could see the quality he had, man. I mean, he was strong. He was quick. He had unbelievable vision, and you could see that he was going to be a talent at Arsenal Football Club. And, you know, it was George Graham that brought him in.
Yeah.
And, you know, you have to respect the fact if George Graham brings a player in, then you know he's brought in somebody of quality, because George Graham was no fool.
No.
You know? And he had an eye for looking at new talent. And yeah, I agree with what Warren said. You know, that game when he first came on, you thought, who the fuck is this? But, you know, how many times can we be proved wrong? I didn't actually respect him. I thought this guy could look, you know, he looked decent to me. Didn't do a lot in his first game, but he looked okay and went on to prove himself to be an absolute Arsenal legend. Fair play to him. Yeah, far more than Arsenal legend that fucking Arteta is, that's for sure.
Exactly.
That's a fucking fact.
The thing is that even now, I still don't know what it was about him that I thought that made me think he was going to be special. But I did. I just had, looking at him, I had this feeling there was something about him, you know, and the people around me were going, no, he ain't good enough and all this. And I was thinking, well, let's see. But I'm telling you, I think he's going to be special.
Yeah, fourth game in, man. He scored his first goal against Coventry.
Yeah.
And that says it all.
Yeah. So here we go. We've got the fixtures for August and September. We started off the season against West Ham at home and won 2-0. And then we went to Anfield and got done 2-0. And then won 2-0 away at Leicester. Drew at home with Chelsea 3-0. Then drew away at Villa 2 each. Then we had 3 wins on the bounce. Home 4-1 against Sheffield Wednesday. Away 2-0 at Middlesbrough. And then finally at home 2-0 against Sunderland. So, any thoughts about that?
Oh, what, me or?
Either of you?
No, because as far as I was concerned, from what I can remember, we were at, I know this is at the beginning, but coming up, I think the second half of the season, we're still in for a great shout to win the Premier League. And I think that maybe it was February or March, we started fucking up on results. But we were definitely in for a shout for the league. I think we finished third Warring that season, am I right?
Yeah, I think so.
I think we fucked up trying to get second. I think Newcastle played us or something, and that's what stopped us from getting second.
Yeah, later on there will be league tables, but you can see at the end of September we were sat second.
Yeah.
After the game against Sunderland, so. But is there any particular games that either of you can remember there? I mean,
the Aston Villa game.
Huh?
The Aston Villa game, I remember.
The Aston Villa.
The 3-2. The 3-2 game. The Dion Dublin, I think.
Away at Aston Villa.
Was Dion Dublin playing for Villa? I think Dion Dublin scored in that game. Would I be right?
Let's have a look. I don't know, mate. Honestly, I can't remember.
Yeah, I think Dion Dublin might have scored the winner, 3-2 to Villa.
The standout games there for me, I remember I was at the home Chelsea game, which ended up there 3-3. But the classic one, as Warren loves it, was the Middlesbrough away. Now, I've actually been chatting to a fella offline about this Middlesbrough Arsenal jobby, and it actually goes back to the 50s, and I'm not going to disclose it in great passion now, but this fellow I've been chatting to, he said, well, no, we don't hate Arsenal. There is no hatred. There's nothing like that. And I said, well, go back and research this part of history. And he came back to me. He said, no, it's not like that. We actually respect Arsenal. And I said, well, no, you're missing the point. And he said, he went away, and a couple of days later he came back. He said, oh yeah, you absolute fucking wankers. And I was like,
yeah, because when Wenger came, it improved. I think it's because of the football we were playing. And I remember Brian Clough being interviewed about Wenger because Wenger broke his record of like unbeaten games. Because he had, before Wenger got the 49 undefeated, Brian Clough held the record. And I remember Cloughy saying the only thing that I don't like about it is it's because it's Arsenal. Because he really didn't like Arsenal. I mean, I'm convinced it's because he's from Middlesbrough. You know what I mean? And I think when Jez does his show about it, he'll explain it all. But I'm convinced. I know that they are. I think they're brought up from an early age to dislike Arsenal. The people, well, they used to be. Because I've been there and I've seen the way their fans react to us, and like my neighbours the way they used to go on about it and Arsenal, and as soon as you mention the word Arsenal, it's like waving a red flag to a bull.
I'll give you a heads up. It's all to do with the FA Cup. I'll say no more.
Okay, no, that's fine. but I've seen it. Do you know? And one of my neighbours had a daughter about the same age as me, and we got on really well. And words were said to her, I later found, don't you get any closer to him. He's Arsenal. You do not have a relationship with Arsenal fans. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, it's crazy. But, yeah. So what else were you going to say about the Middlesbrough game, Jess?
Oh, no, sorry. Yeah. I remember going up. I went to that game, and it was an absolutely rubbish weather day. And if you've been to Middlesbrough, the old Middlesbrough ground, you'd get all the weather on you. That's how it was. But it was not a pleasant day. There was awful, and I'm going to say awful fucking weather. But at that point, we needed to cement our position, and we got a great result. Now, Ian Wright that day was absolutely on fire. How he didn't get a hat trick that day, I don't know. I remember he hit the post, he hit the bar. I think he hit the post or the bar. Yeah, he hit the post twice. John Hartson was unstoppable. That game should have been at least 6-7-0. It ended up as a 2. And it was an amazing day out against an absolutely, how can I put it politely, on fire Middlesbrough home squad fans. They were relentless, and fair play to them. Yeah, I won't forget that one in a hurry.
No. What did you think about John Hartson as play, Jez?
John Hartson, yeah, I thought he was decent, man. He was decent. And sad to say, he didn't go on to prove himself more at Arsenal, to be fair. Didn't make it with Wenger. I think he could have done, but there you go.
See, the thing is, even though, because I've heard conflicting stories about what happened when he left, but he seems to speak quite fondly of Arsenal when he gets asked about it, doesn't he?
He does, yeah. To be honest, I always thought he was okay of a player. I never thought that he would be an Arsenal legend. I didn't think he was good enough for Arsenal Football Club back then. That was just my opinion. That's what I thought about John Hartson. Not a bad player. I'm not saying he's a bad player, but I just thought that we could do with better quality than John Hartson.
See, the thing is with him, I used to play centre half back in the day, and I'm telling you, there is no way on God's earth I would have liked to have been marking him.
No.
Because I get the impression he was a real dirty bastard.
John Hartson?
Yeah.
Oh, all day. I'll tell you what, he reminded me of back in the early 70s of Johnny Giles, Leeds. Leeds flat. Yeah. He'd fucking take your legs off. Seriously. I mean, he was a tiny customer. And, if you remember the Leeds team of the early 70s with Johnny Giles, Peter Lorimer, Billy Bremner, all that lot, I remember a game up at Ellen Road when Gary Sprake was the Leeds goalkeeper going in. It was a corner, and Frank McClintock was in the box, and Gary Sprake came out and fucking nearly took Frank McClinton's head off. He completely missed the ball and literally punched him two-handed straight in the fucking back of the head. And nowadays you'd never get away with that. And that fella, John Hartson, was a tough cookie, honestly. I mean, he would take people's legs for sure. But football's changed.
But they don't make centre forwards like that anymore, though. They're like the centre forwards are not like the John Hartsons anymore. They're different breed of people now,
Oh, they're snowflakes compared to people like that.
Yeah.
Exactly. Right, so here we go. This is what game I picked out. Arsenal 4, Sheffield Wednesday 1. David Platt. Well, Wednesday took the lead in this game. In the 25th minute through a guy by the name of Booth. And then Arsenal struck back through David Platt. Scored the first one in the second half. The 57th minute, and then Ian Wright went on to score a hat-trick. The first one was a penalty, and then he got another two. So, do either of you remember that game?
No, I wasn't there.
I remember watching it on TV.
Yeah?
Yeah, I remember watching it on TV. Sorry?
What do you remember about it?
I remember I remember Boost. I can't think of his first name. But I remember him scoring. I'm there for Platt. There's the question about Platt for you. Who brought Platt to Arsenal? Was it Rioch or was it Wenger?
It was Rioch.
Rioch brought Platt to Arsenal. Because I remember Platt scoring. Platt wasn't too bad for Arsenal. I remember him scoring. And then Ian Wright, I always called Ian Wright the Shark. That was my nickname on him. I remember him scoring the hat-trick and we went 1-4-1. Was there something? There was something that happened in that game. What the hell? Tell me, Warren, what do I remember?
I don't know, mate. Honestly,
there was something that happened.
I'm struggling to remember. I just picked it out because it was a big victory for Arsenal, that's all.
I think Spain Wright did something in that game. Oh, Jesus Christ. What a player. But do you notice something about that picture? Look at the crest. That was the real club.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Not the shit that we have today.
Oh, no. That bloody crest, man. That current one, I'm sorry, I just can't be dealing with it. But what did you think about David Platt as the player, Kyle?
Liked him. I liked David Platt. To be honest, from me being an Irishman over here, the English international team, the English media, I think, is England's downfall. Because every World Cup, every European competition, it's always England this, England that, England. You get fucking pissed off listening about it.
I know.
And I always like to see England getting on wild, obviously, because I'm a football fan. But the thing is, genuinely, David Platt was a very good English player. There you get some players and they're fucking overhyped. But I always liked David Platt. I thought he was a good, honest, hard-working player. But to be honest, and I'm just going off the topic for a minute, Jay's hit on something there a couple of shows ago, and I wanted to say it to him, and I didn't get a chance to say it, but I'm going to ask the two of you now because you're both Englishmen. In my opinion, I always thought that Paul Gascoigne was the most gifted England soccer player I've seen in my lifetime. And I'd just like to ask two of you, what did you think of Paul Gascoigne as a player? And I was getting off the topic, but like I said, David Platt, I just thought I'd bring Gascoigne into it there for a minute. I thought he was a wonderful talent.
Yeah. I mean, for me,
unbelievable.
Paul Gascoigne was the best midfield England player I've ever seen.
Yeah, hands down.
And I just think his story is tragic. I mean, he was offering. He was suffering with manic depression, and I don't think it ever really got sorted out. He wasn't able to manage it, and I don't think the managers he had knew how to manage him that particularly well. And I just think, the poor guy's gone off the rails. He went off the rails, and I just think the whole thing's really sad. And he was a top quality player. He went to Italy, and he did really well in Italy, in my opinion. But yeah, he's unbelievable talent. But Jez, what did you think about Gascoigne?
Oh, awesome player. So sad. Well, I remember the classic when he first came in the scene at Tottenham, when he went up against Vinnie Jones at Wimbledon, and that was the first time I really remember him on the scene. Vinnie Jones, the iconic break your leg player, but Gascoigne absolutely done him. And such a shame, man, because you look at him now from what he was.
Terrible.
It's such a shame because I remember him World Cup. Was it World Cup '90 in Italy? Yeah, he got booked and he couldn't play in the final. And you could see the emotion from him. And Gary Lineker was like talking to, who's the manager then? Was it Brian Robson?
Bobby Robson.
And you could see, he was the emotion there was unbelievable. And
he was a football genius. That's what he was, a football genius. A real genius, that was just born with that,
He fucked himself basically in the FA Cup final, when he went in, did his crucial ligament, and I think that was the downward spiral for him, sadly.
Very sad.
And a waste of a great talent. Very much, dare I say it, George Best. Probably, I was fortunate to have watched George Best play against Arsenal with Man United as a kid. And sadly, his demise, he went to Fulham and all that and whatever. But that player, George Best, was unreal back in the late 60s, 70s. But unfortunately, money, drink, and all that basically killed him. And what a shame.
Yeah,
and the same with Gascoigne. So sad.
Very sad.
Jez, what did you think about David Platt as a player?
Me?
Yeah.
Awesome player. When Bruce Rioch brought him in, I thought, fuck me, this is something different. All right, fair play, coming to the end of his career, but proven England player, international, achieved great stuff, but didn't get the time. And a sad demise for that player, in my opinion. Did some good stuff at Arsenal. Let's get it right. And I think I'd like to have seen him be at Arsenal 4 years earlier, in my opinion, because I think he would have gone to achieve far better things at this football club. Let's get it right.
Yeah.
David Platt. Yeah. If you ask a lot of Arsenal fans today about him, they wouldn't have a clue. Wouldn't have a clue who David Platt was. And that's very sad in my book.
It is sad. And,
Top English international player.
It was a good international player for England. He was. And what you've just said, Jez, like that game against the last home game that we played against, oh God, who was it? The last home game, they had all these legends walking around the pitch before the game. There was George Armstrong, Bob Wilson, Liam Brady.
What, last week?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And you could see lots of fans sitting in the stand looking out on the pitch thinking, who the hell are all these people walking around the pitch? Who the hell are they?
The 71 squad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it really saddened me, and it made me really angry as well.
Yeah, it was the anniversary. It was the anniversary of the 71 Cup final.
Right, okay.
And
That boy was telling me that he was talking to Kenny Kane, and there was a crowd of young fellas, and Liam Brady came along, and some fucking rapper fella. And all the young lads went over to the fucking rapper and had no idea who Liam Brady was.
No.
And they were fans that was in at the game, in the fucking stadium, and they didn't even know who Liam Brady was. It's just a fucking joke, lads.
Yeah, but that squad that was walking around the ground, I think it was 9 of them. You had Charlie George, Frank McClintock, Bob Wilson, John Radford, and all that crew. And I thought nobody was fucking interested.
No.
The team that achieved Arsenal's first double in Arsenal's history were there, and iconic players, and people just were like on their phones, all that fucking bollocks. And there was a certain element. There was a certain element that were applauding those guys. But I just think Arsenal Football Club had that whole thing set up so wrong. What they should have done when the players were out on the pitch, when the stadium was more full, and they should have let those players walk out into the centre of the pitch and be with the current Arsenal squad, and then got the deserve that they deserved, because that to me was fucking embarrassing. Simple.
But they
100% is.
They have brought this on themselves, Jez. Arsenal Football Club have brought this on because they do not respect the history of the club.
No,
there's nothing about it on the website. They don't talk about it. The other day there was barely a mention of a year or two ago. There was barely a mention of Rocky Roadcastle's the anniversary of his death.
Shocking! It's a fucking insult.
Staggering.
Insult. I tell you. You see, the problem is, Jays, 100% top man, talking about the history of Arsenal. It's wonderful to have a man speaking with so much knowledge for youngsters to listen to, and myself and other people to listen to. Because the fucking club has thrown away the history. The club don't give a fuck about the history. Finished. The club is finished. The likes of James there keeps it going. Remind us of what it used to be like. Not now.
See, there's a club who are currently in the National League called Notts County, right? Notts County are one of the oldest clubs in this country, right? Their website has got stuff all about their history on it. Where's our bit on our website? We're the third biggest club in the country. You're not telling me we ain't got enough to talk about. Liverpool, they've got a big part of their website dedicated to the club's history. Do you know? I just find it unbelievable that they're not doing anything about it.
Shall I tell you, guys, why I decided to do my channel? And this may well shock you. A lot of people in Lee Gunner's site has said, Jez, you've got to do your own channel for over a year. Over a year. So I thought about it. I thought, nah, fuck it. I can't be bothered. So I actually contacted the Arsenal media site and said, I'd like to do and write an Arsenal history channel. I'd like to do it on your... I wasn't asking for money. I just said I'd like to promote Arsenal's history. Never got a response. Never got a reply.
Shocking. Fucking shocking.
So I thought, fuck it. I'll do my own. Now, you know, I'm not professional. I mean, I you know, fucking hell. I had a bloke today in my comment after my fan cam yesterday said, like, Jez never looks straight into the camera. He always looks around like this, like that, like that, like that. And I was like, does that matter?
Exactly.
And a fella replied to him and he said, oh, I'm fucking sure Jez is so upset that he won't get a job on ITV News Channel. What the fuck is wrong with these people?
Oh, God.
Sorry, I've always been this way. I don't look always straight into people's faces. You know, that's my way. And I ain't going to change it now because that ain't going to happen. So, and like, I don't get it with people. You know, when I did my first history one, this fellow was saying like, oh, you're getting it off fucking Wikipedia. Well, no, I'm not, actually. A lot of it I researched, and a lot of it's up here that I've been told and learned from my granddad. And this is my iMac thingy bob, but I have also a desktop here. So when I do my history channels, yeah, I type it all up, which can take me, Warren, you know, it takes a lot of time. I type it all up, and I'll have it there. So when I'm talking to you guys like this, sometimes I go like that. So I'm reading my notes, and I got called out for that. And I said to this fella, do you not think that fucking newscasters have teleprinters? They're like, they're looking to a camera. They're professionals. I am not a professional. Yeah? But they have a teleprinter there. So they're reading straight off that teleprinter like that. So they're reading straight into the camera. And you know, what is wrong with people they have to criticise?
Because they're fucking jealous, Trace. They're jealous because of what you're doing. They can't do what you're doing. And the other thing is, you don't have to explain yourself to fucking none of these assholes. Your channel is fucking top class. You're a top man. You know your stuff. Fuck these fucking begrudgers in our channels. Putting hate on it. Fuck them. That's why our club is the way it is. Because of assholes like that fucking fella. Fuck them.
Mate,
Keep doing what you're doing, man. Keep doing what you're doing.
Kyle, I mean, thanks, man, but I don't give a fuck about what people think. They either watch it or they don't watch it. And if they don't watch it, but all I will say is my likes are going up or subs are going up week on week. So there you go.
Exactly. We must be doing something right, Jez.
Well, I think today I had like nearly 1,600. And I've been doing this for a month.
Well, there you go, you see.
So, you know, look, I've got no ambitions, man, but, you know, I just say it as I say it. I don't care.
Fair play to you, mate. And you are doing a fantastic job. And personally, I think you're doing a really important job because the club ain't doing it, and it needs to be said.
100%.
It needs to be said. There needs to be somewhere where fans have got a serious interest in the club are not going to the stadium so they can just be seen at the stadium, or they're doing it for, you know, for the, you know, the likes on their social media channel, or, you know, any some other bullshit excuse. Do you know what I mean? And fair play to you, mate. I've got nothing but the utmost respect for what you're doing, because I 100%. Think it's so important.
And the other thing is too. Yeah, go ahead, Chase.
No, I was going to say thank you.
Say something, Chase?
You know, it's the thing is, to me, I'm old school, and I think the history of Arsenal should never be forgotten.
Yeah.
Oh.
And that's why I do it. And I haven't done anything on history-wise for a week now, but I will be next week, because we've had two important games this week, and so I've been so busy, fucking hell, on other people's channels. You know what I mean? And it takes your time. You know, it takes your time. But in the summer, I'm going to do shitloads, fucking shitloads.
Good.
You see, that's the thing. For me, personally speaking, I'm only starting off this, but I just speak from the heart. I'm passionate. I'm a passionate fan. I let's rip, and I just say what I said. That's it. But there's a friend of mine rang me up the other day, and he said to me, "Kyle, keep the channel going. Your voice is important to get the club back to where it was." So I'm privileged to be amongst the crew of our community to keep going, to try to get our club back to the levels that it should be. So the more of us, the better in our community, as far as I'm concerned. And it's very important to keep the history of the club going forward. As the likes of Jason's channel, it keeps that going. And for me, 100%.
The thing is, Kyle, I also endorse this. It is more important, in my book, for us little ones, to put out there, how we feel about this football club in all the manners we talk about, because I will predict in 18 months, Warren, you, me, Gracie May, Diesel, all these people, Northside London, will have far more attraction, because we are the real ones. We say it as it is. We aren't fake. We don't give the bullshit. We're not playing up to sponsors. We're not playing up to idiots that want it and they flip-flop, like, unfortunately, some of the people that I used to follow. And it will turn. It will turn. It will. I predict it.
I think you're right, Jez. And, you know,
Fingers crossed.
then I think he's going to have a very hard season on his hands.
Very hard.
Yeah, we're going to have European football, and once we get past, I think we'll be in the Europa League. To be honest,
Yeah.
once we get past the group stage and past maybe the first or the second round of the knockout stage, he's going to get ripped to pieces in that. You know, we come up against like a side that's dropped down out of the Champions League. We'll get murdered, and if we get into the Champions League, it will just be embarrassing.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
So, and then, you know, because we're in Europe, we won't be able to play games once a week. We can't. He seems to be struggling to be able to play and manage. He seems to be struggling to manage with playing one game a week. So what the hell is it going to be like when we have to play 2 or 3 games a week?
He'll be found out then.
This is the whole thing. I mean, he's been crying, you know, like a little baby. Oh, and all this and all that. We haven't got the squad numbers to play 2 to 3 games a week. But there you go.
Anyway, let's move on. So this is the lineup for the game against Sheffield Wednesday. So is anything there that jumps out?
Yeah, Vieira on the bench.
Yeah. And there's a reason why I picked this game, but we'll come to that in a minute. But and for me, there's the 3 at the back thing. I found that quite interesting.
Yeah, Linnigan, big Linnigan.
Because Adams wasn't playing in this game. And we had Merson, Platt and Parler in midfield. And Ian Wright and John Hartson up front. Dixon and Winterburn right back and left back. And then Kieran Bold and Lilligan and Seaman in goal. And as Jez says, Vieira on the bench. And Vieira came on in the 28th minute.
Yeah, Parler got injured, didn't he?
Yeah. So let's move on. And there you go. This is why I picked it. 16th of September 1996, Patrick Vieira made his Arsenal debut. He would go on to captain the Gunners in their unbeaten title-winning season of 2003-2004. So that game was where he made his debut for the club. And what a legend he turned out to be.
Would he make the greatest Arsenal team of all time, lads, in your opinions? The greatest 11 Arsenal team ever. Would he make it in the midfield?
To what? Sorry?
The greatest Arsenal team of all time. Will Patrick Vieira make the midfield, do you think? Out of all the players you've seen in your lifetimes?
Definitely.
All day. Absolutely. And he's wearing a proper Arsenal badge that day.
Yeah, exactly.
Not this pile of shit.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, did you want to say anything else about that, Jez?
What, about Patrick Vieira? Absolute icon. Legend. I was having a chat with a couple of Palace supporters earlier on my show, and I basically said to him, you have got a proper manager. Look at what he's done at Palace. When he came in, they were like 15th. Yeah. Look where he's taken them to. You know, schooled us. Yeah. Beat us 3-0 at their place. And now they can move on next season, and I wish them well. And I'm not saying that because I, want them to do well. I obviously don't, but they've got an Arsenal legend there, and fair play to him. I wish him well in the fact of what he could possibly achieve. I don't, let's get it right. Palace aren't going to be a team that are going to be vying for the championship, sadly, for them. But as a manager, fair play. I then got asked, would I want him as a manager at Arsenal? I said no, because I don't want ever to see an Arsenal legend at this club at this current point in time, because they won't get the support they deserve. I would never want to see people like Vieira, Henry, Bergkamp. I know Bergkamp's not interested in all that, because I don't believe this club would support them in the way they should be supported, because the Cronkies are the wrong owners for this club. This management structure of Edu, Vinay, and Garlic Head are wrong for this club, and they've proven it with their purchases of, come on, fuck's sake, the players they've bought, Ben fucking White, £52 million. I'm just bored with talking about it, Warren and Kyle. I'll be honest, mate, I'm getting so bored of it. I can't wait for the season to end. To be fair.
No, I can't. The thing that worries me about it as well, Jez, is our supporters, right? Because if they're behaving the way they are with Arteta, who's not even a club legend, and he wasn't even that good a player for the club.
No.
What the hell is going to happen if we appoint... Let's say we appointed Liam Brady, God bless him, as manager, right? Or, I don't know, Dennis Bergkamp. And it all started going tits up. What the hell do you think would happen if, people, we got to the point where we had to start voicing concerns? Can you imagine?
A lot of the fan base, mate, don't know who the fuck Liam Brady is.
Well, no, that's true enough.
It's terrible.
I mean, it's shocking, but I just don't trust our supporters to behave in an appropriate manner. I just don't. I just think they're absolutely clueless. And
you can't,
the way they attach themselves to Mikel Arteta and the way they carry on about him, I just find it disturbing. I do. I just think it doesn't. It's not healthy.
It's not.
It's disgusting.
Anyway, Warren, I've got to bail in about 15 minutes, man.
Okay, sorry. Let's carry on. So this was the league table on the 28th of September. It was the end of that spell. Arsenal was sitting second in the table behind Liverpool on goal difference.
Yeah.
So, after 8 games that was, we played 8, Liverpool had played 7. But, it was going well. Wimbledon were up there as well. Newcastle were up there. United were in 5th. Anything else anyone wants to say about the league table?
Well, that's the classic season, isn't it? Newcastle, Man United.
Right.
Look at Nottingham Forest.
Huh?
Nottingham Forest, Coventry City, Blackburn Rovers, Derby County, Sunderland.
Exactly.
Never to be in the Premier League again, I don't think.
Sorry, Carl?
Sheffield Wednesday.
Yeah.
All big clubs,
This is the classic season, isn't it, with Newcastle, Man United?
Yeah, it is. Yeah. It is. Okay, so let's move on. So on the 22nd of September, Arsenal appointed Arsene Wenger. It looks really young there, doesn't he, in that picture?
Yeah.
And then this was our fixtures for October and then November. And we only lost one game in those 2 months. And that was away at United. So, and we went top for a while. We were top of the league for a while. But anything either of you want to say about those fixtures?
Well, the United game, Man United game, if you remember that game, yeah, that was a time when Arsenal were on the insurgents to move on, and the fact that we put a major dent in Newcastle United's ambitions, but after that, Arsenal could have moved on, but didn't, and that was a great shame, to be fair, because. But it one thing it showed was that Wenger was starting to put his stamp on where the club and how he wanted the club to go.
Exactly. He was, and I mean, look at some of the results there. They, won 2-0 away at Blackburn, and it was only a few years before where they had that that title-winning side. Okay, yeah, we drew at home 0-0 with Coventry. Then we won at home against Leeds. Drew away at Wimbledon, and Wimbledon back then it was not an easy place to go and play. I mean, they used to get sides really rattled, and Jez was talking earlier about Vinnie Jones, and they used to delight in intimidating the opposition.
Yeah.
Isn't that right, Jez?
Yeah.
The ghetto blasters.
On and off the pitch, the dressing rooms never used to have hot running water. There'd be freezing cold. It was an awful place to go and play football. We beat Spurs at home 3-1. And then Newcastle. Was that away? Away. They beat Newcastle away. So, yeah.
And Lee Dixon is on the goal scoring sheet there a few times as well. Sorry,
mate?
Lee Dixon. He's on the goal scoring sheet there a couple of games.
Yeah, exactly. So he done well. But, Jez, what time do you need to shoot off?
About 10 minutes, mate.
All right, okay. So is anything else that either of you want to say about those fixtures?
Yeah, the one at Newcastle was, Newcastle at this point were doing very well. And the fact that we went up there and got a win against them, totally, that game, I can tell you, that game was totally against the run of play. And to actually get that win and get into I think we got into league position 1, but
yeah, we did.
That whole team set up that day because Newcastle were really pushing it with Man United, and we caused them some major fucking damage that day because it was a shitty day. It was snowing and sleeting. It was cold. It was horrible. But the team was so fired up for that game, and it was like the game at home to Tottenham the week before. You know, when, dare I say it, Arsenal could get actually focused and turn up for North London derbies. But, you know, that was a big game that day against Newcastle away.
Because they had some fantastic players at that time as well, didn't they? They had Ginola,
All that.
Ferdinand, Shearer, Beardsley. It was ridiculous. Keegan, was he still manager then, Jez?
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
It was ridiculous. He had about 7 forwards in the team. They had a formation that was like goalkeeper, 3 defenders and 8 attackers or something crazy like that. It was madness.
Do you remember the meltdown at the end of the season?
Yeah.
After the classic game. Sorry, mate?
Ginola was my favourite player. I loved fucking Ginola. What did you think of Ginola as a footballer? I thought he was outstanding.
Yeah, class. Absolutely class. Without a doubt.
Class.
Absolute class.
Jez, tell us about the meltdown, because I remember it well, but I want someone to tell the chat about what happened.
Well, it was it was the classic one, wasn't it? Was it 6-5, 5-4, something like that? The United thingy bob game, a Newcastle game, and I just remember old Kevin Keegan like that.
Yeah, exactly.
He said, we're gonna do them. I absolutely fucking love it. Fucking love it. And
because Ferguson chipping away at him for weeks, chip,
yeah.
And then they lost a really important game at home, Newcastle, and then he come out and he's in the Sky were interviewing him, and he's going, and I'll tell you something, they have got to go to Leeds and they have got to get something out of that game, and I'm telling you, I will absolutely love it if we beat them to the title.
I bloody love it.
Exactly. It was hilarious. Honestly, there's clips of it on YouTube. So anyone in the chat who hasn't seen this before, go and check it out, because it is fantastic. This meltdown is epic. It really is. And Ferguson, that whole episode with him and Keegan, he just played him like a deck of cards. He really did. And he just showed like what class manager he was. The mind games that he employed to get at that fella was just unbelievable. He destroyed him, didn't he, Jez?
Yeah, absolutely.
Alex Ferguson.
Yeah.
Oh, mate, there's nobody better in the game than him at that time for doing that. I mean, you know, you remember the games, the Arsenal games with him and Wenger. You know, I mean, they in themselves, forget the games. Him and Ferguson was a game themselves. You know, I mean, the stats that they had were unbelievable. And, you know, I remember the classic one when Wenger got sent off at Old Trafford. And do you remember the one where he went and sat on top of the dugout?
That's it, yeah.
Yeah. And it was all kicking off and all that and this. And after the game, I think it was about 2 weeks later, it was in the press because Alex Ferguson was a massive wine collector, quite a connoisseur. And it came out that Wenger, I think it's in one of his books actually, and he said after that I got invited into Wenger's office, Ferguson's office, and he brought out the most beautiful bottle of wine, and we sat down and shared it and talked about what went wrong. Like, you got to say, well, fucking fair play, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
That's football. But you know, in their day, I mean, they were absolute. It's the same with Jose with Mourinho, isn't it? Wenger and Mourinho.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, they were like on each other, like you wouldn't believe. But behind the scenes, these guys talk to each other. They talk, and this is one of the things I've been saying for a long time. If Arsenal get top 4, right? Arsenal have got to attract some serious people in. But the one problem we have is Arteta has proven that he pisses players off. These players talk to each other. Aubameyang is now bigging it up, in Spain, scoring goals for fun. Why couldn't he do that under Arteta?
Well, there you go.
Throwing the question out there. But so Arteta coming into the transfer window, has got to attract some big names in if we get the top 4. And I've got worries about that. But there we go.
No, I have.
So we need, in my book, 5 to 6 top class players to even compete in that league.
Yeah.
And I can't see him getting these players in. Because what are we looking at? Jesus, Sterling, are these top class?
Tillemans.
Tillman's I'll take, man. I'll take. Yeah. I think he's class. I think he is.
I take him as well, Jace.
But Sterling, no.
No, don't want to see Sterling at the club. Don't want to see him.
The thing is, you have to ask.
By the way, sorry,
you'd have to ask yourself the question: if these players were top quality, Sterling and Jesus, would Pep be looking to offload them?
Nope.
There you go. And I think we're going to struggle to get players to come to the club because of Arteta.
We are.
Yeah.
I think he's got a great reputation for being a megalomaniac, and I just don't think players will want it. They'll go, no, I think I'll give that a swerve.
Yeah.
And they're going to be, look, football's a small world, right? If, say, I don't know, dare say he goes in and he tries to get, let me think. Dare say he went for Lionel Messi, right? I know they're not going to, but dare say he did, right? Messi, he's going to speak to Aubameyang. He's going to speak to Lacazette. He's going to speak to other players who've played under him. Ozil, for example.
Mm.
Do you think any of those players are going to give him Arteta a glowing report? And they're going to make a recommendation to Messi, say, yeah, you go there, you'll do really well. It's not going to happen.
Well,
Warren, I'll give you my answer about that. My answer to that is this. It's very simple. We're not professional footballers. The three of us here tonight, we're not professional footballers. But I guarantee you that if I was the top European footballer and Arsenal came knocking on the door, there's no way I'd be going to nuts. No way. I'd be going to a lineup of clubs I would prefer to go to than go to Arsenal as we speak.
Mm.
And we're not professionals, so you can imagine what the professionals are talking about. Not what happened, that's
all day. I mean, look, I'm sitting here, the three of us, right? We are small, very, 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 very minor YouTubers, yeah? But we talk amongst ourselves, yeah? We talk on Instagram, yeah? Or WhatsApp or whatever the fuck we talk on, yeah? But we talk to each other. So these guys, these top professionals, they talk to, they're going to be talking on Insta or whatever the fuck they talk on. So they're going to be saying, like, Tillmans, right? He's going to be talking to other players, and they're going to say at Arsenal, he's going to be talking to players at Arsenal. Yeah, because they're all in the same ilk. And let's say Tillmans is talking to Aubameyang. And Aubameyang's going to turn around and say, no, that guy's an absolute fucking arsehole.
Mm.
He'll fuck you off. He'll ruin your career. And let's say then Tillmans goes to Saliba. Bigging it up out in France right now as we talk. Yeah? He's going to talk to him. And he's going to say, you know, what do you think, mate? You know, blah, blah. And Saliba's going to say, well, fuck him. I ain't coming back to Arsenal. I got bought and I've never played. Oh, all right, fair play. Yeah, okay. Oh, so he goes and talks to Guendouzi. And Guendouzi's going to say, you're having a laugh, man. You don't want to go there. You can go somewhere else. This is how it fucking works.
Yeah.
And this absolute arrogant bastard of a manager is going to kill this fucking football club. And I swear to God, if we get into the Europe, we will be absolutely arse-wiped by him. Absolutely. I'll say them all.
Jez, you need to go, mate, don't you?
Yeah, I've got to go in a minute, mate, because somebody's calling me.
All right. So Carl, I'm going to wrap this up, right, so that we can continue it on another day. So, Jez, can you just explain to everyone about your channel and let people know where they can find you and what you've got coming out in the next few days, if you would mind?
Yeah, it's Arsenal, the history and more. Basically, I started it to do all about the Arsenal history, but I do other stuff, post-match reactions, all that crap. And I did one today, which you might find quite enlightening. But next week, I will be doing more of the history stuff. I haven't done anything for probably 10 days because I've been pretty busy with other channels, which I love. So I've not got a problem with that. But I will be dropping more in the summertime. Once this awful season is over, I'll be doing a lot more content and other things about Arsenal, and just hope you enjoy it.
Thank you, Jez. I'm sure they will, mate. And same to you, Carl.
Yeah, I just started up my channel as Kai. I don't know why that boy has Kai Watch Arsenal. It's Kai Watch Gooner. Kai Watch Gunner. And I just speak from the heart, say it as it is, no filters. As you can see from my video I posted there today, not too happy. So I'm going to be doing lots more post-match reactions, any news that comes up, transfers, stuff like that. So I'm getting this rolling now. So over the summertime, I'll be getting a lot more out there as well. And then get into the new season, get this shit season out of there, and let's see what happens. In the meantime, lads, I'd like to say thanks to everyone for watching. Jay's Warren, big up, 2 legends in the house. Subscribe to their channels. Pleasure, lads, as always.
Yeah. Thank you, mate. Yeah, so me, I'm Warren. My channel's called Warren's Team Talk. And I'm on Instagram as well and on Twitter. And then tomorrow, I'm doing a massive monster stream for the FA Cup final. Yep. I've got lots of people coming on during the day to talk about their memories of the FA Cup, including these 2 fine gentlemen here. And Jez is coming on to going to be doing a quiz with Kenny Ken. So that will be interesting, I'm sure. I've got some good questions for the pair of you, Jez. So
if I send you 50 quid, can you send me the answer?
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, so Del Boy, if you're watching, hope you enjoyed it. We will continue this on another Friday night. But yeah, thanks very much for watching, everyone. Please take care of yourselves and your family and loved ones, and remember to keep talking, and yeah, have a great rest of your day. And thanks very much, guys.
Shout out to CMO and Gracie May, their channels.
Yeah. Please go and check out CMO and Gracie May, and because they do great work. Gracie's coming on tomorrow as well for my stream. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing all these guys and having a chat. So yeah, thanks a lot, guys, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. And I don't know how to stop this thing.
I'm looking forward to it tomorrow, man. I'm looking forward to it. I know I'm going to get absolutely killed by Kenny because he's. Oh, dear.
Exactly. I need to end this stream, but I can't because I think
end stream.
Yeah.
It's end stream up in the top right.
Yeah, I haven't got it. The only one who can do it is
it's Dell, isn't it?
Yeah. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to come out. I think we should all just come out of it. And I'll message Del Boy and say to go and end it.
Yeah.
No problem.
All right,
Big up, lads. Talk to you later. See you tomorrow.
Take care, guys.
All right, lads. Yeah. Take care.
All right. See you later, guys.
See you later, lads.
See ya. Take care, Carl. Thanks for coming.
Take care, lads.
See ya. Bye.
Bye-bye.